And why this tool is so beneficial and so freeing and liberating, really, is that when something happens to your character, instead of looking at 10 different ways they could potentially react, if you know their Enneagram type, that narrows it down to like one or two ways that they can react. All right, so now we have these 9 types. And this is where it kind of becomes cool, where I promise that you only really need to know your core emotion for your type. Okay. So if you are representing 1, 8, or 9, your character will pretty much immediately go to anger when they feel that they've been slighted or they haven't gotten something that they wanted. Okay. A character will immediately go to shame if they are 2, 3, or 4, and some kind of conflict comes up. And then if you're a 5, 6, or 7, you're going to go into fear. Okay, so the example we're going to be working with here is that the protagonist arrives late to a meeting and everyone turns to look at them. Try not to put yourself in the situation, okay? Remember, we're just authors here. We're representing our characters. This isn't about you. This is about what your character is going to be doing. So the protagonist arrives late to a meeting. Everyone turns to look at them. And now we're going to be focusing on the interiority and the response and behavior. This is where the Enneagram type matters. And then the consequence will come. So your gut triad, an 8 or 9 or a 1. Your type 1 is going to feel anger inwardly and have resentment towards themselves. Okay. Type 1s, I've heard, are the most heartbreaking type because they are the meanest to themselves. So the thought is very berating. I should have managed my time better. This is unacceptable. Subconscious body language might be a jaw tightening. And then the response or behavior is that they're going to apologize quickly. I'm so sorry. Let's get to work. Okay. Type 8, that anger is going to be outward. Okay. So this is really interesting, right? Because you have anger, but then who it's directed towards and how it's expressed. When a person experiences stress, what they do with that stress is going to determine the outcome of their health, right? If they keep it inside, that will eventually turn into something chronic, something that they don't want. If they express it somehow, process it, then they're more likely to navigate through it in a healthy way. Or if they project out and wound somebody else. So same like feeling, different outcome depending on your character's Enneagram type. So the thought, very entitled, right? They can wait. The one who arrives late is usually the busiest one, and I'm here now. The subconscious body language, definitely taking the seat and just having this unbothered posture. And then, let's get started. Type 9, the anger is suppressed. So the thought is like, it's fine, not a big deal. Let's not make waves. I like to imagine the dog with the trash can on fire, like as the type 9, like everything's fine. Everything's not fine, but you're like pretending like it is. And so the subconscious body language might be taking nails into the palms, right? No one can see, but it's hurting themselves. Something physical, and then they can slide in quietly, blend in. The heart triad, this is your type 2, 3, and 4 that's going to be experiencing shame. So type 2 is going to be thinking they're disappointed in me. I'll make up for it after. Their subconscious behavior might actually be to look around the table and then look at people's coffee cups. And if it's possible for them to see whether the coffee is full or empty, that would tell the type 2 how long they've been waiting. Like, oh, I've really wasted their time. That would make them feel worse. Their behavior then would be to over accommodate, and maybe they bring coffee next time, right? Like that's totally something a type 2 would probably do. Type 3 would focus on how things look. So I look irresponsible. I need to recover my image. The behavior might be that they take charge quickly to prove that they have value, to make up for it. A bit different from the type 8. 3s and 8s often look the same. And so I would just keep an eye out for that. And then the type 4, this is tough. Like the thought would be everyone can see I don't belong here. Put yourself in the shoes of a type 4 Enneagram type who like is late to this meeting. Everyone's looking at them. And it's interesting because they like being unique, the individualist, but not in this case. Not in this case. heightened self-awareness. They're imagining the judgment coming from somebody else in the room, and their behavior might be really rash. This might be a very quick reaction of withdrawing internally, and they might even draft a resignation letter based on this like imaginary judgment that they're seeing. You could have fun with a type 4. Head triad, 5, 6, and 7 is going to fear. But again, just like the gut triad, the fear will manifest differently. So the type 5, the fear is worry. So did I miscalculate the time? What variable did I miss? How did I not get that email? I'm always on time, so what happened here? And their behavior is going to be very quiet. They're going to be thinking about how they missed the step and they're retracting their energy. The type 6, fear is withdrawing. They're upset. So they're already putting a meaning of they're upset with me. I don't feel safe. Often, if you feel like you have a character who is experiencing a lot of anxiety, you might have them as a 6. What does this mean for my subconscious? They're scanning the room for safety cues. They might be looking for that one colleague who's just like, it okay, girl, it okay. That would bring safety. But if they didn't find that it's okay, girl, like that would be really hard for the type 6. So they're going to stay silent. They're going to be deflated and they're only going to respond with the bare minimum. Type 7. This is really interesting because fear as escaping here. If you look at the thought, the automatic thought might be, time management, whatever. Next time I'll set 3 alarms. It doesn't seem like it's fearful, but the whatever is a defense mechanism used by the 7 to not let emotion in because they're afraid that they will spiral if they do. And so the whatever is like, I'll just set, next time I'll set 3 alarms. That light humor, that quick reframing, avoiding discomfort, that is what a type 7 is going to do.